Hi, I'm Warren Black, and today I want to share with you something a little bit more, one of his dark subjects, unfortunately, not the sort of fluffy stuff that we like to hear, but about what I call dark energy and the sinister agenda of the New World Order and our governments to take away life and freedom as we know it. Now, I know, I hate conspiracy theories too, as much as most of you. I don't like theories or fantasy. However, conspiracy facts or facts of things that are actually happening do interest me and concern me. So, for example, laws that basically now make you guilty until proven innocent. So when you get a speeding ticket where it's presumed you're the driver, unless you prove otherwise, guess what? You pay a fine. That's one example. Laws that basically say you're presumed to be a terrorist, like some of US laws and even Australia, they're proposing where pretty much you're presumed to be guilty and you've got to prove you're innocent. Like the laws in Queensland that Campbell Newman was bringing about previously about bikies, saying you're presumed to basically, just by associating and just going out to the pub or having a drink together, you're presumed to be doing something bad or wicked or illegal. That's taking away your freedom. That affects every area of our lives, and don't just think it limits to the bikies. So for example, let's just say that you want to form a spiritual group and just get together and pray and meditate and you have 5 of you together. Why can't the government turn around and say, well, this group is going away from state agenda, from government agenda, and we don't like these. You don't believe it could happen? Guess what? Throughout history, many examples of where governments passed laws saying you couldn't do certain religions without their permission. In China today, you can't gather or have certain religions without permission. In Saudi Arabia, you can't do certain religions without permission. Even in America now, certain preaching, you have to obey certain laws to get certain benefits. So the fact is, freedom of spirituality, freedom to do what we want, is being taken away more and more. And why? Because people that are empowered cannot really be controlled, and governments who want to control the wealth or banks who want to control it ultimately do not want people empowered. There's so much to this, I could have you here for hours, but in a nutshell, just what if? Just think about this. What if foods in the supermarket had lots of preservatives and lots of bad foods that are known to be bad for your health, and yet governments just let them go and put through without any question? What if, say, really healthy stuff like herbs that can actually heal you, actually stopped by the government and stopped by regulatory agencies on the basis of it's somehow dangerous, while at the same time approving drugs that have been known to have massive side effects? Some very good examples to show you that when these kind of things are happening, there's someone at the top who has a much higher agenda, but it's not necessarily what you want. And certainly, as we see taxes increasing, as we see our wealth being taken away more and more, as we see freedoms being taken away, as we see more and more laws that pretty much make everyone in our country a criminal at some level for things that we do, when we see laws that's being passed and things happening all the time, that, like say, these anti-terror laws, which are constantly being pushed in our face, and saying because of that somehow we're losing our freedoms to protect us. A good example I see is airport security. I would love to know how by putting all these tight restrictions have necessarily saved one terror attack, because the reality is almost every attack has happened through people going through the inside. I'm not saying we don't have security, but just think about our laws and what we're doing and how much is being passed and how much is part of a sinister agenda. So if things aren't what they seem, if you see things changing, if you see laws changing all the time, if you see freedoms being taken away, if you see harder and harder, longer hours, working longer hours, paying more taxes, making less money, remember, everything in life is planned. Someone is planning it, someone is driving it. And if you want to find out more about it, or at least find out more facts and look into it more, become part of our community at Cafe Awake, part of our online church, where we openly share and we teach you about this, and we show you about the New World Order. We teach you about the agenda, where I teach you and link you with people and mentors I work with who can show you how the Illuminati and government authorities are working to take away your freedoms and your rights as you know it. Without this knowledge, you are at serious risk of one day waking up and finding out that your money has been devalued by governments, finding out that suddenly you don't have rights and freedoms anymore, finding out you're under constant surveillance and there's not much you can do about it. So at least knowing what you're getting into and knowing what the agenda is, become part of our community and find out more about it.